Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda, head of Psych Defender of the Fatherland, author 2A2V2 owner. Eindhoven, and the author is Havoc and Momo for sure, fighting here freedom, democracy, and liberty. Here with the US 82nd Airborne supporting the 52nd Infantry Division in the defense against the German assault by 101st Airborne and Bambone, setting forth here with the Havoc Panzer Division. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued generous and heroic support of the Propagandacast. Really helps out. And even more so, big thanks to the commenting and liking on the videos, in particular now where YouTube again has for some reason decided to just throw out a video in the middle of the night where I live, where so I can't respond to fix the issue before it's way too late, meaning, algorithms might be messed up further, which meaning videos will reach even fewer people. So, like and comment really helps out a lot there, just making sure YouTube doesn't completely bury the channel, unfortunately. So, anyways, quick note about that aside, the eternal battle with YouTube. We got here some fun, hopefully fun action here on Eindhoven as we step ever closer to the next patch, which hits on the 24th, so hopefully that does something for the meta game. Anyways, 101st Airborne there with the Terror. We got double Panzer Grenadiers at Bambone, Airborne 30 cals here for Havoc, with Scouts aplenty, also plenty of Scouts for Momo, and some Riflemen leaving just Bambone and Momo to pick a battle group. We'll have to then up Momo, though, could likely end up with the Spec Ops with Armour. Bambone armoured support feels like the most likely, followed by Battlefield Espionage. Italian Combined Arms is a very distant third, you sort of see it in the distance sort of waving at you, but you're not entirely sure it's actually gonna come over there. So more Panzer goes away from Bambone, Grenadiers for 101st Airborne, 30 cal from Water Center, supporting the Scouts. Second 30 cal team there, ready for Havoc. More Airborne maximum machine guns for all intents and purposes.
Enemy forces
it's like the maximum force got nerfed in Coh3. This is very durable and very mobile.
Have been mustered.
Hunter is the Scouts here, Basil yelling for more food despite his being hacked. In fact, he was even given extra food because he had to get some, clean medicine down his throat, so obviously sneaking in for some chicken.
What do you need?
Ignore the cat. He's just, being a cat. And wanting more than he's supposed to have. Meanwhile, light support company at Bambone. American forces trying to step control the same machines and joining in. They got a bit of ambush bonus here. Another Grenadier support here for 101st Airborne. Fairly standard build. Davy for Troop Grenadiers and U42, the only one Pioneer squad, which does stand a bit here. Weapon supports for Havoc. Maybe some regular 30 cals. Probably not, since they cost the exact same. And of course, you drop that one right on the field, so more likely bazooka teams and half tracks. Maybe, theoretically, if Havoc is feeling, particularly bold, he might try out the sniper just for help. And that is likely. Normal few, they committing to special operations. Army had kind of put the bet on Armoured, but Momo does for Spec Ops, which is also a pretty solid battle group. It's got the USF commandos, you got the whiz-bangs, you got the fighter, a lot of pretty good stuff, just not Brad Pitt stuff. South side here, American forces cut down by a rather angrily equipped German mob of infantrymen there. 30 Celtic units moving out here for Havoc, advancing steadily for democracy, looking to shut down any German assault from the Armoured Panzer Division, the Luftwaffe's one and only Panzer Division, which I still find is sort of a really fun concept. Would actually eventually be expanded to a full Panzer Corps.
Research complete. Superior support weapons are available.
I'm infantry actually with a Weasel touring the pack out, and there's a bit of a surprise choice there. Not something to expect, but then again, not necessarily a bad choice either. Panzer Gurney Company and a medic bunker there for 101st Airborne, thumbs up. Bambone, meanwhile, while we do have that light support company, we have yet to see anything sort of really happen with it. Might be actually potentially planning to already move ahead for the mechanized company there. Up north, the German forces is setting up a watch positioning around the cutoff point, but not quite going smoothly. And in the center, 101st Airborne's MD4 choosing up a little ambush position. Air tracks for Havoc. Got a bit of pack hard to fire there. 75mm gun there. At least intended to be part, I believe, of the US Martin Infantry Division, maybe some special operations units, Airborne, but it did sort of find its way towards regular infantry units. They're all fun back then. The German equivalent of this gun would have been the Gebirgsgeschütze mountain gun, which is basically just the lightest infantry Geschütz, but without the gun shield.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
They're all fun, in fact. There. And there you go, Havoc dropping in some airborne there, men of the 82nd Airborne. With the only airborne division really fighting the Mediterranean, there were some paratroop regiments sort of not really part of any division that also fought there. So that is a little fun sight knowing there. After pushing in, here we got in Pack 40 here for 101st Airborne. I was concerned about the threat of light vehicles. So far, the German army is finding itself a bit contented. In the far west, 101st Airborne is doing something a bit cheeky there with some pioneers and a minesweeper. Black feeling half track there on the way for Bambone, while he's also pulling the Pack 30 for the half track. And the flanking 30 cal trying to respond to the German flanking counter-American forces that stand this push left 101st Airborne. And we got the pack out, of course, joining in the party with a bit of arty. 30 cals there being met with heavy machine gun fire, rifle fire there as well. Paris on the flank with more Browning light machine guns. Further south, here, Bravo against Panzer Grenadiers as Bambone is looking to flash them out. West side, 101st Airborne's little infiltrator team continues to sneak up there, causing a mild bit of discomfort there. I'm not sure what the motor pool. What will Havoc go for? More paratroopers, perhaps? Yes, indeed. And after they're completely knocked out, there's some kind of armored infantry attack out of Havoc with his paratroopers. But thwarted here by the might of a Pack 38. Thumbs up to Havoc for actually trying it out. Credit where credit is due. Most players tend not to bother with these kind of things, so... And I always like to give credit to people who actually just make the effort in the first place. Even if it goes pretty, you know, quickly downhill, at least they tried.
Victory point under enemy control.
Which in a game like Camping Heroes, isn't particularly keen on it, unless you get like fired up like the vehicle at the same time. It doesn't try to do much to support it there. You know, really gotta give credit for like just trying to make it. Emmett Green there for Momo for short. Machine gun number 2 for 101st Airborne. Another machine gun S-42. And one of the most iconic machine guns of the war. Just not enough of them to go around, so you had to make do with MG-34s. And some units, of course, other units had to make do with, you know, older machine guns or captured machine guns. It's a bit of a fun one there. Doing the half track, of course, that means I'm supporting out of Bambone. Thumbs up. Germans certainly were quick to salvage whatever they could out of American vehicles and British vehicles as well. Leaving taped on, I think, fairly quickly where, you know, Sherman crews, for example, you know, hide their stash of, like, you know, all the good stuff, like, you know, candies and good rations, so they could quickly pick those up. Half track number 2 on the way for Havoc. Like feeling after they're pushing ahead here for Bambone. Huntsman is standing around. You've got veteran squad leaders providing just that extra bit of zest here for the infantry squads. Though that zest does very much fall a bit apart then when a 30 count catches them out in the open with no cover. West side here we see 101st Airborne's little flanking attempt here. Could have been shut down by a pretty concerted effort here by Momo and Havoc. The dynamic duo strikes and forces away the 101st Airborne's Grenadier. With the 101st Airborne going straight for the Panzer Company. No dilly-dallying here. No saying about the dreams of Gibbons and whatnot. Straight for the Panzer Company. Starstruck and Panzer IVs and maybe Sturmpanzers. And with a hit briefly considered, but I guess he thought, hang on a moment, that's not a Brad hit. That's not. Rather than getting more, we got the airs up there for Momo, causing nice boost as infantry against the German troops. Second half to joining up to again, second half to hit the Havoc. And mines here on the road, good spot there.
Upgrade complete,
Left flank, we can see Momo there looking to circumvent the German front line, sort of swing around there and do some damage that way. I think that's a pretty sensible move. They've executed correctly. Second paratroop squad has been upgraded here for Havoc with 4 Brownings. Thumbs up, and medium gun, airdrop, anti-tank gun. Hacks blasting away there. You got a bit of a standoff here with 2 Grenadiers goes from Rockford. There goes Starstorm on the way of 101st Airborne, hardened German infantry. Veterans of countless battles and part of the German tactical reserve there. Starstorm was typically the title you could find, or one of the titles, like sort of this sort of like, you know, strategic reserve of infantry, like designated for like, you know, all the tougher tasks like, you know, counter-attacking into like, you know, very vital areas to prevent a collapse, for example. Those were typically known as Starstorm by the German high commanders. Technically sort of a correct name, though of course they just call them that because, well, they couldn't call them stormtroopers apparently, so they went with Starstorm. Silly, I know, but here we are.
Commandant, the enemy holds all victory
But technically
points.
it's not incorrect, it's only these kind of channels. Anyways, paratroopers, the flak feeling half from Panzer
Our
Pioneer.
enemy has the upper hand.
Anti-tank have to swing eastwards. There we got the Panzer Army Commando almost on there for Bambone.
Command points are available
On the first
for you.
Airborne, there's yet to get a move on with the Starstorm there, though. I'm guessing he's just overall, though, slowly saving up here for a King Tiger, aka the Königstiger, the Tiger 2 or Tiger B. How about that? Well, we haven't really seen him do much of anything except that one pack character. Now, maybe that's really just all he wanted. The rest is just like, you know, noise to him.
Combat group awaits deployment.
There you go. Starstorm on the move here.
We're losing grasp of ammunition.
Mortar Havoc Bambone. Thumbs up. The side here we got Panzerman Force in the Scouts and about to be caught by a 30 cal return here. American pressure on the left flank is causing problems here. We got the Grand Johnny in the counter shot, but pack forward to the rescue here. Forcing here, Momo shooting towards Greyhound quickly.
Enemy forces have claimed our sector.
Almost had Ralph's got the Starstorm, but well shot
We
there.
have only 250 points remaining.
And a mortar pit here for Havoc after all. May not be a frag pit, but Havoc clearly can settle for a mortar pit. Ooh, caught them with a trick with a frag grenade. Nice work there by Momo. Didn't quite get the white, but as you might notice there, very close.
Tech crew is reporting in.
German army once more getting pushed into a bit of a corner here. Victory point wise, the Ice had the big lead. Casualty wise, the Germans still lead, but that is about it. And for this on the way for 101st Airborne, thumbs up. Bambone will have to see what he ends up with. He could go for a pen of 3 any time now. Moment now. So, whether or not he commits to it is of course an entirely different subject. Matter interesting, Havoc blasting the flak feeling half track. He's obviously when we use that close to the front line unless something was terribly wrong. It'd be more like, you know, be supporting certain elements of the mission against incoming aircraft. You know, it certainly could at times, you know, be pushed into the front line for various reasons. Here we go. And the 301st Airborne. Panzerkampfwagen 3 Ausführung N. 30 cal there, nicely held up in cover. We got another tank, of course, this time for Momo for sure. And we're looking at the double tank depot there. I mean, it makes sense that both USF would be a bit more amusing if there's like one of those Brits and someone who's building a tank depot. That would certainly raise some questions. There we go, Panda 4. Got the Panda machine in there ready and added to fight against the Amerikaner. Finally swing up for mines, good work, thumbs up. Momo for sure there with the 6 and 1 inch done in a few moments. And his tank depot. Got the Lloyds as well there, I believe. Panda 4 flanking in, catching the Weasel. Absolutely ruining it. up here. Flak filling half track, just letting use at point blank range. Absolutely merciless behaviour there by Bambone. Ally artillery there just sort of firing at anything that remotely moves.
200 points remaining.
Looks like it could move. And all the poking in, quick shot there from the tank. Half tech does convince here. 101st Airborne maybe wants his Panther 4 just slightly elsewhere. Panther 3 on the east side here, the Model L. First mass cruise model there with a high velocity 50mm gun. This will later, of course, be superseded by the Model M, which featured, well, the same gun but more armour overall, including added frontal armour plates there, putting up to a total of 70mm of frontal armour. Not quite as much as a Panther 4, but sort of close. Little fun fact, the scout team they're getting molted, 183-182. Gap between Axis and Allied forces growing. Pressure on high command there, or divisional command here is growing. Probably telling company command here to pick up bloody pace. Commanders available for more for sure. Looks like assault flares and whatnot. Those are, of course, buildable whiz-bangs. Supply drops for Havoc. At this point, all that's really left is just sitting in a big rocket strike or carpet bombing run. And 101st Airborne, they're floating at command points. I mean, W that really looks like he is going to go for that Coh3, the Tiger 2.
Have been called forth to lead our mechanized forces.
Panzer 3 there for Bambone. Another Panther 3 there for him. Thumbs up to that. Nice little Panther 5 team. We got the Pioneers on the flank. But fortunately, the flank is quickly halted by the positioning of 30 cal here by Havoc, and 76 more Shermans upgrade on the way for Havoc. Thumbs up. Give this Sherman tank scores a nice little boost. More stars from 101st Airborne. 2 thumbs up, and another M1 anti-tank gun for both sure. Bring in more guns here to stop the German armoured menace.
Panzer 3 is awaiting orders.
Second Panther around here for Bambone, and Das Vaterland. There you go, Sherman there outgunned with the 76mm gun, Momo here with a whiz-bang as well. Fortunately for Havoc, his Sherman, upgrade Sherman, sort of inaugural push, they got quickly thwarted by a pair of Pack 38s. Some fairly talented gunners. Whiz-bang almost done. We'll try to make it tough for the Germans to line the packs to sort of hold back any Allied armor this one. There we go. Pack completed out here. Hannibal to the rescue. Stossum here as well here. A total of 2 Stossum squads. Look at the armored side skirts, though ultimately impossible at this point. He's just, focusing heavily on the King Tiger, and so is may at this point start just playing his economy a bit more carefully, so as not to like delay the King Tiger.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
In a bit of trouble around the centre. German push here from the right flank. That Germans are all starting to get more and more back against the Allies. There's no problem here for the Americans. Around the centre, Whispering moving up. Starstorm trying to cleave the way here through the Allied lines. But the hubris is pretty quick put in check here by American forces. There go Whispering unleashing on the centre machine teams and pack crews here. Very much in deep trouble. Almost got the machine there, go wiped it with the Whispering. Whispering basically by being the slightly younger but bigger cousin of the Clive. By larger but fewer rockets. Reconnaissance the Havoc, thumbs up. And Panther feeds them, running a bit late to the party. Oh, quickly held up here by the Allied forces. Able to swiftly push back the tanks and deter any further progress. 183 between 71 or 369 actually now. A lot of mortar objects there out of Bambone. Total of 2. Blasting.
available. They shall lead our forces to glory.
Command Panzer over Bambone. As 101st Airborne continues its very, very slow march towards the King Tiger.
A Panzer IV is ready for orders.
Comes up into Bambone and as command tank to boost his Panther 3s, I think. Excellent decision. West side, fresh German assaulting grenadiers. Spearheading their sword range attention with the American position on the Stassen to move in and maybe clean up things a bit. Things don't get completely overrun too fast here.
Territory sector has been claimed by the enemy.
Ooh, that may definitely be an impact. Got a Sherman joining in to catch the grenadiers in the second Stassen squadron, trying to move northwards instead. It's like the 101st Airborne's western push has very much been put down there by Havoc. Nope, Pack and Panther will not just save them here east side. Bambone making pretty steady progress against Havoc on the right flank as well, and Momo sure another player seemingly quite ready for that development. So they actually put a lot of weight when they force into the west, so the east has become significantly weakened. That's opening up this push here. Now the Sherman almost up for Havoc. As for Momo, for sure, no real indicators for what next. Maybe another whiz-bang, maybe actual tanks. We'll have to see. 180 versus 337. The clock continues to tick here slowly against the Allies. Casualty-wise, the Germans definitely starting to get ahead here, so some kind of tactical strategic shift here out of the Allies I think will be a very good move. Counter shot there. Command tank moving ahead here. The Panther 3 and the Panther 4. Germans trying to get a more foothold here against the Allies now. Victory points wise, they're obviously behind, but casualty wise are ahead. So not quite as smooth sailing here for Momo and Havoc as it was in the early game. Panther is leaking up, he got another whiz bang for Momo for sure, bleeding and rocket artillery. Whereas the Shermans bring about patrolling here, finding Germans and ready to absolutely decimate them. In fact, Axis was at this point actually fairly close to a triple cap against the
enemy forces have taken out
Allies. If we get that going, that would certainly help, I think, close the gap between the two there in terms of victory points pretty fast.
Rollout of engine improvements is underway. Vehicles will be able to secure territory shortly.
101st Airborne almost there in terms of getting the ability going, though we'll need the resources still to build it. North here, German base right here by Bambone. Going here for Morpheus Force, almost got the captain. No, get it. Looking too skittish, and thus unwilling to commit to deeper dive there, but at least he made the attempt.
Victory point under enemy
Certainly a minor improvement. Pioneers, Panzer Pioneers clashing here in the center against those paratroopers. Use these. 101st Airborne now is not there already, pretty damn close. He's got the fuel for sure. I think he's got the command post, they might need another one. Mess it up from time to time.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy! Victory point
Just right here from Bambone's armoured fist here against the flank of the Allies from 180 versus 242. First German push west side starts from the grenadiers catching the few pocket paratroopers and very much causing him to withdraw. 100 found him showing there setting out here for a Momo for sure. And going to in fact some command points here. He is pretty close, they just need more manpower and 101st Airborne than good.
Improved tungsten combinations shall lay waste to enemy armor. 3 command points are available. We have a battle. Vehicles must maintain the pressure.
And you'll
No
take the
matter
time
the
you can
cost.
pull forward here by 101st Airborne.
Territory lost.
No, so far he is not showing much interest in actually doing. Oh, there we go.
Class for the victory point.
Just as I said it, he calls it in. The King Tiger. And his king, baby. Anyways, got it going here. Massive slab of steel with an 80 at the minute. Do it. 180 was 227. Axes continue to be a bit behind the other in terms of 2 points. This time doing the best to close the gap. Both side Shermans and losing Panzer in a bit of trouble here, caught out in the open easy targets with the Sherman gunners who are hell-bent on vengeance for the fallen. Numbers 105, and we got 5 vehicle kills here. I mean, in most respects at this point, Axis forces are definitely leading over the Allies. The Allies, I think, need to look to some new tactic strategy to try and turn this around against their opponents. Because the current state of affairs feels like it's definitely hitting some dead ends, unless the Germans decide to make some rather grievous strategic errors. Tactical no matter, which I mean does happen. Just mean you should count on it. But you know your opponent really well. German armor kind of see around here the normal thing of Momo, but Momo was born and ready and put a hold for that. Starts from the charging force once more, wiped out, sticking below the 101st Airborne, should shoot them sooner for sure. Definitely wasn't going to be a move to just have them move around the Sherman tank like that. Whiz bang barrels here, completely whiffing there for Momo for sure. Great barrage if we were to ask the German opponents here. That's great if we were to ask anyone else. 180 was on 95. 101st Airborne and Bambone have almost managed to close the gap here now in terms of victory points. Got more packs on the way here. 101st Airborne putting up to a total of 3 packs, which to me at least is a bit excessive.
The battle shifts in our favor.
Not entirely sure what he's hoping to do with triple packs, but we'll have to see. Send the Panther Thieves and Panther Forks swing around. We got 40 on 101st Airborne.
Victory point.
King Tiger's just collecting dust. So there you go. Carbon bombing from Havoc after all. 2 thumbs up. Oh, backing into it. Might just be time or not. Command tank though was too slow. It's absolutely demolished.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
Armed reserves here out of Bambone. Thumbs up interrogation for 101st Airborne. The acts of expansion would take the Allies in terms of victory points now.
All understrength squads shall be reinforced.
Certainly starting to a little less than ideal here for the Allies. It's time to get behind in, I think, on much more numerous fronts, if you will. It's not a great sign. Nemo. I'm not sure with the second whiz bang he's trying. Another time at the second whiz bang. Time doesn't fucking cancels it. West side there, we're having a big strike here. The triple Shermans going for the Panther 4. They're hull down. Council unable to match the shield map up to Peggy by Havoc, and the Panther 4 is kaput. The turret sent flying there. ruthless assault there by Havoc. How will the Axis Force respond to this aggressive player there? King Tiger getting repairs. Meanwhile, you can see more pioneers being brought up as I think 101st Airborne is starting to realise one pioneer squad is looking for King Tiger.
We have encountered a Tiger 1, Commandant.
Then we got the Tiger 1 here for Bambone.
We're losing grasp of a victory
And
point.
the Germans are two Tiger tanks, even though they are of fairly significant.
Victory point lost.
More Raka barraging there, centre's just been slowly ground out. Now the Sherman on the way for Havoc, putting up to a total of 4 there. That could certainly cause the Axis Force a bit of a headache there if they
The
get
victory
going.
point is being taken from us.
So far now, 101st Airborne or Bambone are really like trying to
Enemy forces have captured the victory point.
Sherman ready here. Supplied up to supply. Captain Craddy finally for the Airborne at this point of the match. Certainly always active on the line. Not the most common thing. It could be like any number of possible reasons why they might go for that now. Okay, that's for another time. All the way, Captain Crab. Almost complete here. Fight for the centre continues at a slow, grueling pace while the left side is seeing some light action on the right side, but so much of the attention, so much of the effort continues just to be heavily focused on the centre. That's a somewhat less than great degree. East out, the Sherman swing in here. Catching there, Bambone is penned to 3's a bit of tough party, unsupported. Easily picked apart, and there you go. One is almost ready to blow up. There we go. 174 versus 134. Not that advantages is more of a shot. Thumbs up.
No communication from our Panther
There you go.
3.
Panther 3 down. Another win here for democracy. Tiger tank base around the centre, supporting the King Tiger.
Territory overrun.
The Sherman's going to be a Sherman, another Panther 3. The other Sherman's going to be drawn here for repairs. It's actually one that they could have pushed in, possibly take out the Panther 3, but maybe it's also concerned about the possibility there, and a tank could be brought up. Which, to be fair to say, is more than fair. King Tiger in the west with 174 versus 102.
The enemy has
Got that
100
Axis, triple
points
cap on the Allies.
Proximity alarm near our victory point.
93. 90.
We have lost control of a victory point.
Sherman down, repeat Sherman down.
Command points should be assigned at once.
And King Tiger arriving, Sherman in trouble. Sherman in trouble.
Acknowledged. Enemy forces on
Pushes like
standby
and then
point.
got utterly crashed by the Tiger tank here. No mercy to Shermans. 174-69. Allied force running up into points faster and faster here. Starting to break containment so far. You can see.
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Tactical strategic errors could open up like more significant.
The enemy has taken a
I would say
victory
on
point.
possible will more be in a more direct shut down at this point. Going to require some deeper planning and also creativity like Havoc and Momo. Another shot for Havoc, more right from the out for Momo for sure.
Territory sec. The enemy has fallen to 50 points.
Oh, it is definitely running out there for them. Captain Crad just Captain Cradding around. I'm just trying to navigate a massive cratered landscape there across the center. Meanwhile, Propaganda is there ready for 101st Airborne next.
We're losing grasp of a victory point.
Actually, he's got plenty of munitions, so munitions are definitely not ready for
Our pack has been silenced at the front.
the occasional push, but otherwise you do get like, you know, these enemy points where like just not too much is happening.
Enemy forces at 25
not air consolidated, at least actually also regular loyalty there from Momo. First stream assault the center Tiger tank out of Panther free support. Tiger is a King Tiger. Base on the left flank here. Enemy forces 20. Bot is taking against the allies. There's something has to be soon here. Otherwise it's not going to be anything they can do once they run out. 17, 16.
Luftwaffe forces are available to harass the target area.
And we got the one unleashed by Bambone
Our victory
on
point
101st
is being
Airborne.
neutralized by the enemy.
He gets around here. Yup. Infantry squad utterly eviscerated, evaporated even. I have to bury them in a shoebox or two. 7.
A Panzer IV command vehicle awaits
6.
assignment to the field.
Allied arts looking pretty grim at this point.
We lost.
Short divine intervention. What's that? 1 left. Now go GG, game over. Victory here for the Germans, lost for the Allies. A brutality there, but also I think, you know, some room for some tactical creativity. But for now, this is Imperial Ancient. Cheers and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye everyone.